Hi, this is the second video, so we're just going to expand a bit on the first one, doing very similar movements. Just going to add to the bridge using a belt and a block. So you need that close by. But we'll start by just relaxing into it, same way as we did the other day, with your legs up on the sofa. And releasing back. Just making sure you're nice and comfortable. Arms by the side. And just let your awareness drop inward. You want to make sure your legs feel really supported at about sort of 90 degrees-ish. Want something under your head if you need it. And then just take your awareness from the outside to the inside, just noticing how you're feeling today. Noticing what parts maybe ache a little more than other parts. You could even scan like a CT scanner from the top of your head, crown of your head down your body. Just noticing how you're holding yourself, and does one side feel tighter than the other? Do both sides meet the ground evenly? So it's not really about making any judgments or necessarily altering anything. It's just about noticing where you are at this moment today. And again, take your awareness to your breath, just the inhale and the exhale. Noticing how far the breath comes up and how far the breath goes down. Noticing what actually moves with the breath as well. Maybe shoulder blades, collarbones, ribs, maybe parts of the lower back. And then next time you breathe in and you think you reach the top, take one more sip of air and then a long, slow exhale out. And as you exhale out, just really let your back, your navel really release to your spine. And then again, breath in, right to the top. And then when you've reached the top, take another breath and then long, slow release. See if we can let go of any tension, allowing the chair to support your legs and the floor to support your shoulders and back, head heavy. And I'll leave you to do those breaths again for another couple of rounds. And then just let the breath go and just roll the head very slowly and gently from side to side, just noticing how the neck's feeling. So you're just oiling the joints of the neck before we come down to the mat with our feet too. And then as carefully as you can, roll yourself off the chair, the sofa, and come to the mat. Going on semi-supine. Take my socks off. And taking a moment just again to tune into where the body is and see again if you can feel your footprint. Make sure that your feet aren't too close to your bottom, too far away. And just press into the footprint. And you might notice if you press into the big toe side of the foot, you might feel an engagement up your inner thighs, goes right up to the pelvic floor, and pressing into the little toe side of the foot, the pad of the little toe, you might feel an engagement up the outside of your thighs. And if you press into the heel, then the whole back line of muscles engage, fascia and muscles. But we want to be pressing into all three corners of the feet. So we're going to do that windscreen wiper motion, taking the arm up, right arm really up and reaching, and letting it fall over to one side. And then up, knees back to centre, arm back down, and the other way. Really gentle rotation. Just bringing a bit of movement into the body. So I'm going to do that a couple of times, always coming back to centre and then rolling over, letting the whole body go with it. Back to centre and back down. And over. Back to centre. Right to our semi-supine position. First of all, we'll do some pelvic rocks. Just noticing how the back does a natural arch as the pelvis goes forward and flattens back down. So we're rocking backwards and forwards. But really it's a whole spinal movement, and you might find as your pelvis rocks forward, your chin goes to chest a little bit, and as you rock back, navel to spine, back flattens to the floor, chin goes a little bit towards the ceiling. So just bringing some movement into the pelvis. So this is where we're going to add to our bridge now. We did bridge the other day. We want to put the belt, which will already be prepared, into a loop round just below the knees, so you can press out into it and it feels quite firm, and then the block goes in between your thighs. So we're going to press out on some of the bridges and actually squeeze into the block on other bridges. So rolling back down. Again, make sure you find your feet in the right position, hands by the side. And we're going to tip the pelvis back, lower back to the floor, and then peel up to the ceiling. Now it's up to you which you choose. It's probably easy to start off by pressing into the block. So you're pressing into the block, you keep breathing at the top, you'll feel a real engagement of the muscles in the thighs, and then roll back down one vertebrae at a time. Release to the floor. This time when you go up, you're going to press your legs out into the strap and roll back up. Noticing how it feels different on each way, and roll back down. Now you can either do several of one and then several of the other, or you can alternate them. It's up to you. And pushing into the block, rolling one vertebra at a time back down, and pressing out, rolling up. If you want to add in some arms, as you go up, arms can go towards the ceiling and rolling back down, rolling up. Arms maybe go overhead. That might feel like too much of a stretch, but you could always try it. I haven't left enough room here. And rolling back down. Also, you just take it easy with that one, while you just see how it feels. And I'm just going to leave you for a couple of minutes to keep doing that. I shall take these off myself. So you can do a number of repetitions with that bridge. And when you feel you've done enough, take off the strap, take off the block and just roll on your back and do a couple of really nice rolls one way and then the other way and blow back. And I think we'll just finish with a little bit of work into the backs of the legs. So backs of the legs going into the ankles and the feet. So we're going to take, I think, one leg up at a time. Now it doesn't matter how far you go up, it doesn't have to be right up here, this leg can stay in. It can be down here, it can be bent, but just take it up and aiming to take the flat of the foot towards the ceiling. So you're flexing your foot towards your face. Now depending on how tight you are down your hamstrings, you might not want to go too far. And then when you've gone as far as you want, just roll the ankle one way and the other way. Flexing the knee down and then up, toes towards the face. But as I say, you know, you go as far as is comfortable for your leg and hamstrings. We're not trying to force them to stretch. We're just working into them and gradually lengthening them. And then when that leg comes down, roll it in the hip socket. One way and then the other way. And then we'll do the other leg. So that one, it can either be into your chest or you can have it on the ground, whichever feels right. And take that leg up. Now my left side's always tighter, so I can really feel that in the backs of my legs and my Achilles tendon. And down and take it up. And then a roll of the ankle each way, spreading the toes as well. And actually a point and a flex is quite nice too. And then hinging the knee. And a roll in the hip. And then bring both knees to chest. And I would invite you now just to release down into Shavasana. If you want to go back to legs over a chair, that's fine, because it's a really nice way to relax too. And now allow your body and your mind just to rest completely for the next couple of minutes and just tune into any of the sensations that those movements have brought to the body and just follow them up. Notice how the hips are feeling, back to the legs, ankles, just from this short practice.